Does my room look clean? And up there is my half marathon t-shirt. I've got to get it put up properly so you can see all the names and everything. So guys, welcome back to the channel for another video. Again, this is another bonus video, not on the usual schedule. And the reason I wanted to make it was because there was a huge reaction to the I'll never be a vegan video that I put out last Friday. Honest to God, it's probably the biggest and fastest reaction I've ever had to any video that I've made. It's had over 600 views in less than a week. It had a couple of hundred views on it within a few hours. There's something like 40 comments or 50 comments on it. And I knew that it would get a response, but I had no idea it would get that much of a response. The purpose of today's video is just to clarify a few things that I said in the video and to touch on a few of the points that you guys raised in the comments. Before I get into the discussion points, I just wanted to thank you guys for your very, very measured and respectful comments. There was nothing that was abusive or angry or accusatory. It was just as you always are, just very, very dignified and measured and kind. So thank you for that. The first thing I wanted to touch on, I even wrote notes today, so prepared for the first time ever. A few comments raised the issue that I was saying that veganism can cause eating disorders. I don't believe that at all. When I said in the video that restriction is something that falls into anorexia and orthorexia, what I was saying is that for people who have a predisposition or are prone to that behavior, veganism can fall in line with restrictive behavior that is specific to those disorders. I am not by any means saying that veganism causes those eating disorders in the general population, but if you have a propensity to restricting and using excuses other than I have an eating disorder to restrict and to deprive yourself of certain foods, it can mask what is an undiagnosed or diagnosed eating disorder. So in no uncertain terms, veganism does not cause eating disorders, but it can be problematic for people who have a propensity to disordered eating or who are in recovery. There are also a couple of comments saying, you know, I can't really get behind you on this because you haven't tried a vegan lifestyle and therefore you're not really in a position to comment. What I should have clarified in the video is that I have actually attempted a vegan lifestyle a couple of times since I've gone into recovery, even as recently as in the last 9 months, and it brought up some very, very concerning and worrying thought patterns and behavior for me. So I very quickly had to identify, okay, this is giving the eating disorder an opportunity to sort of reappear or start to manifest again. So that had to cut out immediately, and as soon as I went back to my intuitive eating and normal eating pattern that I adopted in recovery, I was fine. So I have tried veganism because, like I said, I think ethically it's fantastic. I think nutritionally it's fantastic. It is incredibly hard to deny that veganism is one of the best possible ways of life out there, and I wish that it was something that I could do, but I cannot. There was somebody who commented and offered a really great resource for me to read, and I am definitely going to track down the book that she recommended, Brain Over Binge, I think it is. But there was a comment that I seem to be worried about the possibility of relapse, and everybody's recovery is different, everybody's experience is different, but sorry, my bed is so squeaky, but I absolutely do treat, stop it, I absolutely do treat relapse as if it is a possibility, because it keeps me honest and it keeps me accountable. In the video I talked about how being in recovery from an eating disorder is similar to being in recovery for alcohol or drug addiction. You may be in recovery, but you're always an alcoholic. You may be in recovery, but you're always a drug addict. To me, my recovery doesn't mean I don't have an eating disorder anymore. So I am very, very cognizant of the fact that relapse is possible. I think that I am stronger in my recovery because I embrace the fact that I am not perfect and my recovery is not perfect, and that it doesn't matter how long my recovery is, 3 years, 10 years, I can't get lazy with it, I can't be arrogant about it, or that's when I may take my eye off what is keeping me well and healthy. Other people may view it differently, but I will always be an eating disorder sufferer in recovery. It does not define me. It does not take up a percentage of who I am, but it's certainly something that I have to be aware of and on top of for the rest of my life to make sure I never go back there again, and that I'm staying true to my recovery. My recovery is something I acknowledge and work on every day of my life. A few people said that I shouldn't have said never, and it's in the title of the video, so there's not a lot I can do about it now, but I completely agree. I think that never statements are foolish because I'm 28. I've got a whole lot of life ahead of me. I've got a whole lot of living to do, and I don't know where I'm going to be in 40 years. You're dead right. I should not have said that. It was just, what am I going to call this video? Boom, boom, boom. That's what I'll call it. I'm not a vegan. Probably would have been what to call it, but it just basically came out as I'll never be a vegan. There have been a few people who have commented who are vegans but haven't necessarily gone through an eating disorder or recovery, and absolutely to their credit, they acknowledge that in their comments and their statements, so I'm not saying anything that they haven't said themselves. But I will say this, unless you have been through an eating disorder, unless you have a really deep first-hand knowledge of eating disorders, what that experience is like, what recovery is like, what the statistics are of people who successfully recover, and how guarded and protective people are of their eating disorder recovery, you're not quite in a position to comment on how somebody processes or deals with their recovery, because eating disorders are a life or death matter. For some people, veganism has helped them, has assisted their recovery. For other people who commented, who've sent me emails, who sent me Instagram messages saying, I completely heard everything that you said in that video because I tried to do the same thing and it actually impacted my recovery negatively. And that just comes down to the fact that we're all individuals, but this is my health and this is my life. So if you aren't coming from the perspective of having experienced an eating disorder and you have an opinion on how I am managing my recovery, please take into account this is not just I'm making ethical choices. This is my life. This is something that almost killed me. So whatever I have to do to make sure I'm still here and I'm still healthy and I'm still well, I will do it because I can't ever go back there. But I do appreciate your opinion. I appreciate the message that you're getting out there. I think that it's great. This video that I made, this video that I'm making now, is specific to veganism and my experience through my eating disorder recovery. So like I said, I'm not criticizing your lifestyle. I think it's fantastic, but I'm just somebody who cannot adopt it. So guys, they're just the few points that I wanted to clarify from that video so that we're all sort of on the same page. And I hadn't really prepared for that video. That was another one where I was just like, this is something I want to talk about and I want to do no preparation for it. So I probably had a few things that were a little bit grey area, and I hope that cleared that up. But I do love the discussion that it generated, and it was something that I've really put off discussing for a long time, and I'm a bit annoyed with myself that I did, because obviously it's given us an opportunity to each share our own experiences, what's helped us with the recovery. And like I said, we're all individuals. So as long as we're having a respectful discussion about what recovery looks like for us as individuals and giving people different avenues and different opportunities to look into to get themselves better, then I think it's a great discussion to have. Guys, I have something so exciting, actually a couple of things that are really exciting that are happening. One I'm so excited about, and I cannot tell you about it yet because it's not confirmed, but it's something that I always hoped this channel and what I'm doing here would lead to. And yeah, I'm just so chuffed about it, and I can't wait to share it with you. I will probably be able to share it with you next week. Yeah, it's really like dreams coming true kind of stuff. So guys, we'll be back tomorrow with Warrior Wednesday. Come and find me on Twitter and Instagram under What Mia Did Next. Those links in the description box below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. See you tomorrow for Warrior Wednesday. In the meantime, much love and take care. Bye guys.